Good afternoon, students. I can see the more students are getting into this seminar. I think so. I'm going to wait a little. Then we are just going to start on the speaking module. If somebody is, wants to share something, they can write in the question and answer session, or throughout you can, type any query. And if you want to talk in between, I can, unmute you as well. On your request, you can proceed for that. In this seminar, I'm expecting a little bit contribution from your side, if it's going to be possible. That's going to be a little bit interesting and interactive as well. I think so. We are just going to start our session. I welcome you all today as the last session of IELTS series is going to be ended, and that is on the speaking module. So these guidelines, these motivational code for you, how you're going to proceed further after having all these four seminar sessions. So my suggestion for you is the hard work. It's just a motivational code that's going to encourage you to work hard, and it's not just a matter of attending the seminar. Now you've got all the ideas, and you're just going to implement by your hard work also. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. you know so you have to keep going. uh, Practice makes a man perfect. So I'm offering the continuous preparation classes also on the regular basis. Those who can do it on your own, that's excellent. And they are a part of a lot of worksheets and interactive session. So if you want to enroll in that sort of classes, that's going to be customized based, and as well as more guidelines if you want to require on the IELTS. That's going to be a continuous workshops, or you can say that sort of a regular tuition classes also available on this platform. So just going ahead, today, speaking module, understanding and organizing the ideas. That is going to be our basic, theme of this session. How you're going to understand the organize the ideas, because it's not going to be a written work. It's all dependent upon you, how you're going to communicate with the examiner. I'm Saira Asad, your instructor. And now what I'm going to tell you in this workshop, that is going to cover IELTS speaking section, the pattern, the required skill, what you have to develop, and the strategies for attempting the questions of a speaking module. So basically, speaking a module is dependent and is comprising of three tasks. Three tasks or three questions. Basically, you are going to do it, and it's not that going to be that much lengthy, just like 1 hour or so. It is all dependent on the examiner also, as much he wants or she wants to extend the conversation. It's going to be sort of interview. So the speaking module is the final part of the exam of all the modules. Is the last, part. Reading, writing, listening, and this is the last, speaking. So it doesn't need to be taken on the same day. So you're going to be given a separate schedule for that, when it's going to happen, and and your time, your examination time is also going to be informed to you. So it is in the form of a three practical oral interview. The same pattern goes for academic and journal training modules. So the both, but the question may be varies, but it is the same pattern for both. And it is going to be going to be on about 11 to 14 minutes or 15 minutes, maximum. But how you're going to tackle that all questions, this is the main point, and how you're going to speak, I'm just going to tell you. And what are the strategies and the skills you are going to adopt while attempting those all questions, or while in the discussion or in the interview. So the task one, introduction and interview. Out of three tasks, the first task, as you enter in the, in the room or the examination hall, the examiner is going to be sitting in front of you, on table. A chair is going to have a table and a chair, and there's a chair also for you over there. As such, you enter in the room, you always greet somebody, hello, hi, but there's going to be a little bit formal. So it's going to be dependent on 4 to 5 minutes interview. What is going to be in this task? It is going to be, you're going to mention your name. You're going to introduce your country. Maybe you're going to introduce your country, your hometown, your hobbies. It is all personal, related to you. You're going to introduce yourself and what you're going to do in the future, and this sort of all questions. That's a 4 to 5 the discussion between you and the examiner. Now come on the task two. This is individual long turn. It is of 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, a question is going to be given, and that's going to be written on a card, a piece of card, and the instructions are going to be there, and you're going to, read it out, understand it, pinpoint few of the things. If you don't understand something, ask very nicely. Do you mean by this word this? Explain it like this. Ask a question if there's ambiguity in somewhere, and you are going to have only 1 minute before starting your discussion. So in that span, you're going to make your points, the keywords, and what you're going to talk about. You're going to make a frame, on the question. The third question is of two-way discussion. It means the discussion is going to be your examiner is going to be a part of your discussion also. You both are going to interact with each other, and it is going to be of 4 to 5 minutes maximum. And again, the question is going to be written on the card, it's going to be given to you by the examiner, and this is going to be a less personal topic. This the third one. They might be the examiner is going to ask you to talk about some the governmental changes nowadays in your country, something like that. About the education system of your country, how you have found the present new government of your country, something like that, or any about the ministry, or any of the pollution, something like that. What do you think about the pollution? Is it affecting your country? What is the condition of your environmental condition of your country? Something like that, the journal topics, And for that, these sort of topics, these are very general one. So you don't have to, going to be assessed on your knowledge and a lot of ideas. At this stage of life, you must be having a lot of, experience, and you're having a lot of points in your mind. You're reading newspaper, magazines, you have a lot of points. So it is going to be a very comfortable discussion, and your views. You're going to be assessed from your communication skills, not on your ideas and your knowledge, how much knowledge you have. But if you have knowledge, that's going to be depicted through your conversation, you know. Basically, so don't be afraid of that. Oh, that question can come from anywhere. How easily explain you can, that is the point, you know. Skills and strategies you have to develop for attempting this section. So first of all, you have to listen to the examiner, take the instructions carefully. Then extending your responses by giving two or three pieces of additional information. Means if the examiner asks, may I know your name, please? So you're going to introduce yourself. No, I am so and so. A little bit extended with one more, line that's going to show that you're very communicative. We are just going to practice it also. I'm going to show you how you're going to talk about. Be confident and relaxed. One way to extend your answer is to try asking yourself follow-up questions at home before going for the examination. Organize your ideas. If something comes in front of you immediately, a question, how are you going to organize your ideas? We are just going to practice this all. Okay, if the card is going to be shown with a question on that, you're going to how you're going to see and how you're going to manage your ideas, because you have a very limited time. You're not going to give a lot of pauses, because pauses are not allowed. This is a very negative impression, you know. So keep talking comfortably. Use expressions, connectors. You're going to add connectors in your communication, like, well, actually, I guess where these words are going to be required. I'm just giving you the examples. What are the expressions you can use within your communication? More expressions like, I guess, another reason of it, as well as also linking words like, nowadays this is happening in our country, but I think so. You're just going to talk like this as you are talking with your and explaining something to your friend, or with your colleague. Or more example, right now, these days, at present, because I'm just giving you the ideas. Okay, these are going to connect your ideas and sound more fluent, actually, by using these all expressions. And don't stop, continue speaking in fluently. If you have done any mistake, don't be afraid of that, and just carry on. And you can correct yourself. Whatever you're speaking, your brain is telling you, yes, here you're wrong, and excuse me, I think so, I should say like this, immediately, without with the confident, without feeling embarrassed. You're going to correct yourself also. You will be assessed on your communication ability. So you're going to practice on your communication skill. So tips for attempting speaking section. Okay, a few of the tips. I would like you to develop these all and have these. Always give full answers, no short answers. It is all dependent on your interview, oral interview, no written work. As you write in detail, so you're going to. And how much? We are just going to practice this all. And don't be worried about your accent. Don't be so slang. Don't create your accent. Whatever your accent is, this is perfectly fine. We cannot, develop immediately an American, the British, the other accent, but you have to be original, and you have to be very clear, whatever you are speaking. You're not supposed to be worried about your language, but whatever you are speaking, that should be clear and pronounced correctly. Be descriptive. means you have to describe a little bit, not within a few, just you're not supposed to give like the bullet points. You have to be very descriptive. You have to feel other also comfortable, that you're very welcoming in the the communication, that you like the communication between you and the examiner. This should be the impression given to the examiner. So keep a steady pace. Don't run. Don't talk quickly. It's in a smooth way. Always focus and stay on your given topic. And practicing before examination is a must. You have a lot of samples. I'm also going to give you a lot of samples in front of you. A lot of exercises are there available on your net. Your books are over there. The CDs are there. So you have to practice it and try to work and practice with a stopwatch. If you don't practice and correct your mistakes, definitely you're going to do it again and again in future also. So record them, listen them, correct your mistakes to avoid them again in the future. So as much as you do these sort of exercises, you will see your progress, that you're really improving, by stopwatch, and just give yourself a test, oh, I can do it. I've said this. You should introduce yourself first, in your room. How it is, the examiner is going to ask this question, how you're going to work, and how you're going to say to him. As much you practice, you will be more confident over there. Okay, now the task one. We are just coming on the task one from three tasks. So that is on introduction and the interview. The very first task, there's a very personal introduction. Part one is based on the journal topics about your life. You will answer from your life and experience. They will start with your introduction, maybe your home, your study, your college, your university, holidays, recreational activities, neighborhood, country, etc., etc. Just all generally where you are living. It's going to be dependent on all your personal information, just to make you comfortable. And the interview start with your introduction, be specific, cover all the major points. You should you know this. You should be very well prepared what you're going to say about yourself. From that, the examiner will get a full idea. Okay, she's from which country, and what she's doing and everything. Other you should be very clear. If the examiner wants to have more particular idea, he's going to ask you more question regarding that. The examiner will get to know you can introduce yourself well, by explaining him nicely about yourself. You have to maintain the fluency, and yes, practice ahead. So I would like, if somebody wants to join in this practice session, we can, I can ask question and you can read this answer. If somebody is somebody, they can tell me by typing, and I can open the mic. If somebody, otherwise I'm going to, give you all the instructions how you're going to speak up, and I'm going to make you hear also the audio, just to give it an idea how the examiner and the student is communicating. If somebody, please do that, students. You can jump in. It's going to be interactive if you want to. Otherwise, I'm just following all your question and answers as well. So sample 4 to 5 minutes. Student participation is encouraged if you want to. So this is just giving you in the written form also. Basically, it's an oral, because you will better understand how much they extended the answer. That's why you're going to get a good idea. So the good afternoon. The question. My name is Christina Pillar. Could I have your name, please? This examiner is asking as the student enters. Good afternoon, madam. My name is Joseph Mark, and my nickname is Mark, so you can call me Mark. He has extended the answer way. My name, he hasn't told you, my name is Joseph Mark. No. just extend it. It's a very, pleasant answer, a welcoming answer that you are, going to enjoy the conversation. You're very exciting to introduce yourself. This is going to show your expression. Okay, and the examiner is going to ask, and your candidate number is, my candidate number is so and so, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Now, could you tell me a little about yourself and where you live? Oh, well, I am Joseph Mark. You're going to mention your name, students. And I live at your address and in the district or in the, states. My father's name is Dash and he is a government service holder. My mother's name is, you have to mention your mother's name. And she is basically a housewife. But sometimes she works at a shop. We have a small gift shop that we have been owning for the last 10 years. I'm 26 and I have finished my graduation from the university. My major, and university was mathematics. I've got two brothers and a younger sister. And I'm doing a part-time job at a local school. I'm planning to complete my MSc from a reputed university in the UK. My future plan is to teach in a college. I spend my leisure time mostly by browsing the internet and reading books. Sometimes I hang out with my friends on the lake shore. I'm maintaining a personal blog and there I try to add a post every week. This is basically a technology and mathematics related blog. The place where I live is really charming and I love to live there as this is one of the best neighborhoods in our town. How you extended and you have given all the details and the examiner is going to, impress by your, description. So and then the next question can be, the place where I live is, you have just said, the place where I live is really charming. I love to live there and this is one of the best neighborhood in our town. You are just focusing on that. You are mention all the points as the examiner asked from you and where you live. You have just answered this question. What are some of the nicest things about where you live? Just understand the answer question first. The nicest things you're going to talk about, so be specific about that. The town where I live is a calm place and it is neat and clean. You will find it naturally beautiful and the majestic lakes, gardens, fountain, river, hill and the songs of birds will take your heart away. Whenever my friends from other cities come to visit my area, they become awe-stricken. Our area is indeed a stunning place to live in. On top of that, people are very nice and friendly, and you would be very gratified with their charming behaviors if you ever visit there. The area is free of pollution and it is not an industrial area, and the fresh air would give a soothing feeling. The traffic on the road is good most of the time, and you won't have to worry about public transportation as they are available around the clock. The area is famous for many historical sites and monuments like, you can mention a few of the monuments. And then tourists come to visit here every year. Finally, there are many fabulous restaurants there and they can pick one of your delicious menus from there. And I'm very much sure you will never forget the taste. The crime rate is pretty low and a small town as a small town, we know each other very well. I'm sure if you visit our area, you will simply love it, ma'am. So something, you have to extend it. Don't worry how much you extend it, but keep talking, and you have to be focused on that, that you are covering the main point which the examiner had asked you to do, and what the examiner nicest things about you, where you lived. You were talking about 5, 6, immediately you have talked about your rivers, lake, the beautiful pollution free, you are going to love it, the bird, you have described through, these things immediately, and then try to extend it. And when you're going to give it, you think that's a little bit enough, then the examiner is going to ask you the question afterwards. So I would like to hear an audio also, just a
Do you
sample.
like music? Yes, of course I like music. I couldn't live without it. It's what allows us to escape from reality. Furthermore, it connects people. I think no matter what country, religion, or culture we come from, we all enjoy music. What kind of music do you like? Well, this is a bit of a tough question because I have a diverse taste in music. But I'll say my favorites are modern pop, 90s alternative, and hip hop of all ages. I can always sing along to pop songs, and I enjoy keeping up with the modern hits. 90s alternative takes me back to my childhood and makes me feel so nostalgic. Lastly, who can resist moving and shaking when you hear hip hop beats? Do people in your country like music? Yes. People in my country are a big fan of music. As the US leads the entertainment industry, I would say people are really into music, and that is a big part of all of our lives. It has played a large role in telling our history, such as the blues and jazz, and will continue into the future.
So I wanted you to listen to this audio just to have an idea. So it was about the music and how the examiner was asking. So you must have got an idea. We have practiced also. If somebody wants to practice with me, we can. You can read the question that's in front of you, or you can reply, or that's going to be a bit interesting. So, but for the next, going ahead with this task one, introduction, the interview, you're going to be, might be going to be asked about your hometown, your hobbies, etc. As we have discussed a lot of other topics. So, if there's a question, where is your hometown? How you're going to reply. My hometown town is in here. No, 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 not like this. You're going to extend it. My hometowns in Hanoi, which is the capital city of Vietnam. It's located in the north of country, not really that far from the southern Chinese border. You have explained a little bit in detail, and the examiner got an idea exactly where it is located. Then the examiner is going to ask, is there much to do in your hometown? Oh, yes, there's certainly lots to do there, as it's a fairly big city. If you like going out in the evening, there are a lot of good restaurants and bars. If you prefer cultural activities, there are museums and art galleries. But if you like nature, there are lots of other things out of the city in which are easy to reach. So you're describing, you are very descriptive in replying. So these are the examples which you are supposed to follow, and that definitely that's going to, as much you read, the points are going to be in your mind, and you maybe replicate over there as per your questions. For example, and the question, what the people like in your hometown? They are mostly quite friendly, but as with most big cities everywhere, is often busy, so it may seem as if they are not interested in speaking or having a chat. But if you live there, you know that most people are quite happy to have a chat if they have time and will help you if needed. And so this is the way how you're going to reply to the examiner if this sort of question is going to be in front of you. Any sort of question, this is one of the examples. So if the question is, I'm just going to one or two, going to quote you some example that regarding the work. And what's your job? I currently work as an office manager at a large marketing company. I have been in the job for about 5 years now. I'm usually assigned to work with a specific business in order to improve their sales through various marketing strategies. You describe your role in a little bit detail, but you're going to talk about means three sentences or four sentences. That's going to be a very good reply to the question. Do you have to work with other people? Oh, yes, all the time. It's a big office and we all have to work as a team if you want to achieve results. I have colleagues. I need to liaise with such as graphic designers, and I also have administration staff who work under me. And of course, I also have to work alongside the companies that we provide marketing for. So yes, I definitely have to work with other people. This is the way. I've just read two of the answers for you to just got an idea, and as much that's going to be in front of you in the written form, you will be able to grab the information how exactly you are going to follow the tips and the strategy of replying. So I would like you to. I made you hear, that audio on the music, on the first task. So, do you like music? That was you heard that audio. Yes, of course. I like music. I couldn't live without it. It's what allows us to escape from reality. Furthermore, it connects people. I think no matter what country, religion, or culture we come from, we all enjoy music. You're describing it all. You heard that all audio. I made you listen that. So, what kind of music do you like? Well, this is a bit of tough question because I have a diverse taste in music. But I will say my favorites are modern pop, 90s alternative, and hip hop of all ages. I can always sing along to pop songs and enjoy keeping up with the modern hits. 90s alternative takes me back to my childhood and makes me feel so nostalgic. Lastly, who can resist moving and shaking when you hear hip hop beats? So something you may going to make your conversation interesting, to engage your examiner in the conversation also. So maybe he is going to ask you the question from your replies also. So these are the some of the examples. For that, the practice also required before going to the examination hall. So, coming on the task two, it is an individual long term that is going to be 3 or 4 minutes. Individual long term means that a question is going to be given to you, and you are going to individually answer it, and you're just going to talk about, you're going to be assessed on your individual performance. So, how you're going to do that, preparing time is 1 minute. After looking at the question on the card, the question is going to be on the card, and you have to prepare and just going to read, understand that. Then you have to make some notes also, immediately notes. You're going to have a writing pad with you also. You're going to